A long time ago, I realized that a lot of our fish up here tend to be in the weeds a good amount of the time in the summer months. So I needed to have a fly that I could run weedless. So I figured out how to build a very good positive wire weed guard. This is a 4/0 hook. I'm going to start with some 210 thread. My thread of choice is the Danville's Flymaster Plus. I think it's the best stuff around for your big flies. So I put about 3/8 of an inch of thread on. I take my red wire weed guard. Why red? Well, because then I don't have to add a throat to the fly. It's already on there. I'm going to invert my hook. I'm going to tie the weed guard in, pointing up. Run my thread back to about maybe 1/8 of an inch or 3/16, roughly 2 hook eyes behind the eye. I'm going to take the weed guard and I'm going to fold it back over itself again. The fish taught me this, otherwise they rip the thing out after 1 or 2 strikes and you're left with a good fly and no weed guard. So I pinch that right back down over itself and I'll wrap about 1/8 of an inch of thread over that. And I usually come back and I'll smooth this out, this transition, with my thread, just to make it easier when I get back to this step of tying the fly, that I can finish this up nice and smooth and easily. I'll bring my thread back to the shank. I'll bend the weed guard forward, and because this is a 7-strand wire, a 1x7, you can bend this thing back and forth hundreds of times. It's going to last virtually forever. I'll bring my thread in the behind of it and I'll tie that off really well. And then I'll make the transition down from where the edges of that wire is. You got to be a little careful there how you cut that wire. It will cut your thread occasionally. So once I've got that done, I can continue down and build the rest of my fly. Let's just tie this off right here. Now, even if I'm doing a shanked fly, I can still come back in and put in my weed guard. Once I get my shank tied down with 1 layer of thread, I can bring my weed guard up, put it right on over the top. Just make sure that you get on both sides of that center wire. So that you can balance everything out. Fold it right over the top. Squeeze it right down onto the hook shank. And tie it down again. That'll secure it to make sure that the fish can't rip it out of there. Because given half a chance, they will. Smooth out that transition up in the front. Bend my weed guard back. Slip it underneath my hook point, and I'm good to go.